Hey, and welcome to HopCast.
Thanks for joining us once again, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
Special guest.
We have some special guests at a special occasion.
Where?
We've got Mr. Dave Bleitner and Mr. John Laffler. We're here at the release of Off Color Brewing. So thanks you guys for having us out. This has been
Thanks
really
for coming.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Your new brewery, which will be here in Chicago. I should probably let you guys say more about it than me. Tell us a little bit about what you're looking to do with Off Color. What kind of beers are you making?
Have we figured that out yet?
I think that's the point, right?
Something.
It's the
We'll
point.
figure something.
Apparently we're making cocktails.
Right now we are. We're in the middle of an event, so yeah, that does happen. So we're opening a production brewery. It's a 20-barrel brew house from Newlands, 6-barrel tanks. So we're producing a fair amount of volume. The beers that we're looking at, we're going to launch with 2 year-round beers. At least, hopefully, we'll say year-round. We really like them. We hope everybody else does. The first one is a Goza. Goza is not extinct, but not very well known, slightly tart German wheat style. We produce ours with a little bit of coriander. We use green coriander. We actually do 2 fermentations with that beer. So we produce 2 separate beers and then blend them together. So one is honestly, it's a relatively flabby wheat beer. In and of itself, we don't particularly like it.
It's not that great.
Yeah. And then we also produce a second beer fermented with only lactobacillus. We use lactobacillus Bruck.
And that's even worse.
Yeah. So that produces a bunch of acid. It produces acid, produces funk. It's kind of sulfuric. Like you
Very
said,
sour.
it's not very. It's kind of worse. But then when we blend the two together, we can create something beautiful. So that's the whole thing about what we're trying to do is taking beers that are difficult to make and trying to do them well.
So from what I understand, you're kind of trying to take these like styles that maybe are almost extinct.
We've taken some of those beers that have historical basis, but by no means are they going to be all the beers we're going to make. When we think about beer, when we talk about beer amongst ourselves, one thing to look at is where beer has been. One thing we look at is where beer is now. And more importantly, we look at where beer is going. Human taste buds change. However, they haven't changed the last 5,000 years all that much. Cultural influences change significantly. But what actually makes human beings happy, what actually makes human beings taste happy.
Alcohol.
Alcohol, fruit, sour, or balanced sour, sweet, honey.
And true love.
You mean the blood from that show?
True blood. Sorry.
We don't add blood to the beer. Yet. But those things haven't changed all that much. So what we're trying to do is really look at how we can manipulate how people think about beer and how people respond to beer, and then push that into where beer is going in the future. So we're more of an approach of avant-grade brewing than historical basis. That being said, the 2 beers from Launchers have this strong historical basis.
Yes.
So today, since the brewery is still being built, put together, and everything, today we have 3 beers from collaborations with
4.
Four.
4 beers, 3 brews.
3 breweries. Okay.
We like Doug and Tracy a lot.
Hey, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
Shut up.
So you've been gypsying around.
Yep, we're gypsying and tramping it up.
Can we brew here, guys?
Yeah,
We're pretty good at that.
They
do all the work.
That's much easier than making our own brewery. Plus, I dropped on my finger and that hurt a lot. We put a brew house together the other day. We got all the piping on. Monday, the electrician comes in. So Dave at 6:30 tomorrow morning needs to be there.
Maybe.
That might have been a mistake.
Yeah. So electrician comes in. We're running about 400 amps of power over from another unit. Plumbing is pretty well installed and needs to be hooked up to the main flow.
At this point, we're just focusing on utilities.
Yeah.
But so how do these 4 beers fit into the style of where Off Color is going?
Well, for example, our Floyd's beer. There's a long history in Belgium of this conflict between the French-speaking portions and the Flemish-speaking portions. So if you ever go to Brussels, they're just always fucking constantly bickering. We're a little sardonic. Floyd's is Floyd's. So we wanted to echo that conflict in the beer that we produced. So we took a malt bill which is halfway between a Belgian Strong Pale or Belgian Strong Golden, think Duvel, and a Super Saison, which is a higher gravity Saison. And we pitched 2 different yeasts into it. So we pitched a French Saison yeast from Terrier, and then we pitched a Belgian ale strain from Mischief. And said
They had at it.
yeah,
Okay.
we let them fight it out. So, and that's kind of what we're looking at doing is how do we manipulate the way people produce beer? Have people put your yeast in a beer before? Sure, yeah, lots of times, all the time. We're not trying to do things that are novel. We're not trying to do things that are necessarily no one's ever done this before. We're trying to make beer that we like, that we find interesting, that tastes good.
So is I've asked Tom Porter kind of the same question, but like, how much are you bringing with you? Obviously, you worked with innovation and barrel aging for a long time. How much of that are you bringing to Off Color?
We'd be silly not to have John do barrel-aged beers,
Yeah.
but this has been a project on its own.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been really anything to do with what John has done in the past, but you'll definitely see those elements creep their way in as we continue to produce beyond what our initial releases are going to be.
We're not launching with barrel-aged beer. We'll do some. In fact, I already.
Hard to do that, isn't it?
It's very expensive and it takes a lot of time, and we're very poor.
Also, we're open next year.
Yeah. If we need music, yeah, whatever. We'll try to do it anyways. I redesigned the way that we do barrel storage. So the way that we do barrel storage and barrel warehousing in our facility will be much different than how you do it with wine racks. We're with Tom Porter a lot. Tom's one of my great friends and fantastic brewer.
He helped us put together our brew house.
Yeah, he did the shit out of that. And we'll work together with him with his projects and how he's going in the future. That won't stop because, in fact, when we were in the brew house together, Tom came over to help us. And Dave pulls me aside later. He's like, "Wow, we're glad Tom was there. He's a very strong calming influence on you."
Yes.
So,
Well, he did wrangle you for many years, didn't he?
yeah, his job was to figure out how to get me to actually do something productive.
I got to talk to him more.
Yeah.
Well, you're
Like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I spent 3 days at a beehive. Sorry.
I think the love of barrel-aged booze is true tonight because you got cocktails from Journeyman mixed.
Yeah, well, I mean, beer is more than just beer. Beer, the way that we think about beer, we think alcohol is an approach to flavor. So our cocktails, of course, involve beer, but that's just on the most facile aspect of it. What I love about these guys, and we have our good friend Jason coming over to do cocktails for us, is the approach to flavor and the approach to balance. So I respect cocktailing so much because it's about blending. So how do I take these disparate flavor compounds and components and put them together into a complete whole that tells a story and does something interesting? I try to do that with the beers that we blend together. I'll say we're producing a blended beers and we want to be year-round beers. You can take ugly things and make them beautiful through the blending process. So of course I have mixology as a component of that.
So what are we looking at from a production standpoint? Like, are we doing brew pub? We're doing
It'll be
production brewery,
straight
tasting room.
straight up production, and we want to make the city of Chicago our tasting room.
Cool. That's great.
So we go out a lot, and we spend a lot of time in these bars, and that's where we want to mingle with people and do that. I mean, our backgrounds are production brewers.
Yeah.
And that's what we were going to do. That's what we know, and that's what we do well. So it's really important to have a good focus on your core business.
We have a good marketing strategy though.
Yes, we do.
Can't wait to hear it.
Tipping well. So,
Well,
thank you guys.
Well, you heard it here first on the HopCast. Thank you guys so much for
Cheers.
coming out.
Happy to have you.
And congratulations on the new project. I'm sure Chicago cannot wait for some new and exciting beers from you guys. So.
It'll be fun.
Cool. Thanks for watching.